hidden in crates, through bombed-out war zones, 1,000 sleepless nights in camps. To undertake these perilous journeys, people must be even more desperate to leave than they are hopeful to arrive. My narrative was formed by experiences that will remain with me for the rest of my life, of cutting my teeth in New York City's immigration court system, of defending immigrants interred at border detention centers, of volunteering at JFK during Trump's travel ban, of traveling to Spain on a Fulbright to study the European refugee crisis, and of helping undocumented teenage boys who are savagely mistreated in California detention facilities. I owe much to my family, my wife, an immigrant to the United States herself, most of all, which has allowed me to pursue this career path that has taken us from coast to coast and to Europe and back. Along the way, I do my best to make immigration law, that bureaucratic morass that adjudicates who is allowed to stay in this country and who is forced to leave, digestible. While the book may be dedicated to immigration lawyers, it is also for everyone to understand the work that we do and the personal and emotional toll it can take, which, while never approximating what our clients suffer, is nonetheless intertwined and often inseparable. Indeed, this book began entirely as a therapeutic exercise in coping with vicarious trauma. To be able to tell this story, as well as protect my sources, I have obscured the identities of some of my clients. This book, like our jobs as immigration lawyers, lies at the intersection of the legal system and immigrant lives. It comes at a time when who we say we are as a country and what we do to the people who most need America and its dream is in jeopardy. It is also but one story among the countless of those who have made it their mission to help others live their lives in this country, many of whom are themselves immigrants or first generation. Without humanity, laws are just words that set out minimum standards. Without humanity, the United States can no longer carry the torch of the free world. This book is for those who refuse to let that flame die. Part 1. The Work. I don't consider myself a real lawyer. I'm not a lawyer in the sense that the better job I do, the more money I get from my client. I'm just trying to help. You can change a few things, but not much progress is being made. There are about 2,000 of us in the country. The legislatures are not controlled by us. For every law we have declared unconstitutional, they write 5 more. For every step we make, we're pushed back 4. Some days I'm optimistic, other days... Philip da Vinci, from Studs Terkel's Working. It began with an intake. This was where I would interview immigrant youth seeking relief from deportation and looking to be put on a path toward lawful status. The intake was only the initial meeting, but like being at an interview for a life-changing job, the immigrant youth would often be nervous, scared, shy, or uncertain. They believed that there were right answers to the questions I asked, and they were not wrong. Certain answers would qualify them for relief, while others would not. Because I needed to be able to back up their information, it didn't serve them to lie to me or to change the facts or circumstances of their lives, and therefore their answers needed to be answered truthfully. That, I would assure them, was the only right answer. The questions were simple at the start. Where were you born? When were you born? And became more specific as the intake went on. What resulted was a composite of a person's life, rendered as a list of clues that helped assess the person's eligibility for relief. Asking the right questions was like trying to find the right turns that would lead one out of a labyrinth. I would take a few steps down one corridor of inquiry, asking some question designed to gauge eligibility for asylum, to see if that route was viable, and if not, I would pursue another path. The better you knew what qualified for relief, the more options you had for making a defense. Family-based sponsorship, prosecutorial discretion, DACA, deferred action for childhood arrivals, the full range of humanitarian relief, acquisition or derivation of citizenship, even a quick peek down employment sponsorship. Sometimes the most inane question could lead toward an unexpected solution to legally keep the youth from being